Hello everyone, Howard here. Today I'm doing a quick review of the Patek Philippe Aquanaut travel time. Now I've done a regular Aquanaut and the Nautilus review as well as the Nautilus travel time review. But finally I got my hands on the Aquanaut travel time, so I want to do a quick review of this watch. If you watch my video often, you know I'm a watch enthusiast. I don't work in the watch industry at all. My regular job has nothing to do with watches. But I'm trying to find watches, to do this type of video in my spare time. So I appreciate your support, and if you can click the like button and the subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Now, the Aquanaut was originally introduced in 1997, and this travel time came out in 2011. I think, everyone's very familiar with the Aquanaut and the Nautilus traditional design, the octagonal shape, not really round, but not a true, eight-sided octagon shape. And the key thing here is also, the bezel, the case, the bezel, the glass is all in that sort of octagonal round shape. It's very unique, right? And if you look at this Aquanaut, it's very straightforward. You got the traditional sort of pilot style numbers. Then you have the regular hour, regular minute, and the second time zone hand here, which is the sort of the skeleton hand. You have the local and the home indicator to indicate, the white is daytime and blue is nighttime. And the 6 o'clock, you have a sub dial for the date. And as I mentioned in all my reviews, I'm not a big fan of these date sub dials because it's really difficult to see. If you don't have a great lighting, or if you're driving or just taking a glance on your wrist, like, what can you see, 27 or 28? It's really hard. If you just put a regular date window there, I will be perfectly happy. The dial is black, embossed. It's a little bit lighter in the center, I would say, than a little bit darker black around the edges of the dial. It has this, whatever shape you want to call it, the design. Is it an earth or is it more of a tropical design? You have the vertical sort of the lines and the horizontal lines. Overall, pretty clean though, very clean. The case is 40.8 millimeters. It's not too big. And the one thing about these watches from Patek or AP or Rolex or even VC to some extent, even the complication watches, they're not super thick. This is only 10.2 millimeters thick. I mean, it's really impressive how thin the watch is. Lug to lug, corner to corner here, it's about 47 millimeters, and the lug width here, the top of the lug width where the band here is, the strap is 21 millimeters. Caliber 26-330 SCF-US. Power reserve a little bit low, max 45 hours. I think water resistance about 120 meters. The standard in terms of the finishing, on the top of the bezel, it's more of a, I wouldn't call that matte, but it's more of a nickel finish. On the lug shoulder, it's polished. On the side, the crown is polished, but the side of the edge is, I would say, like in between polished versus nickel finish. And here, the pusher for the home time, you got two polished. Very nice design and skinny. I like that a lot. So to operate a watch is very simple, right? If you want to adjust this home time or second time zone, you just adjust the minute hand, and you can see it will go, the skeleton hand will go with it. Very simple. And obviously this is a true travel watch, meaning the local hand here, most watches you will adjust with the crown, but Patek and the very few watches, they have 2 extra buttons here. You can adjust right here. Just push this backwards, forwards, right? When you travel from, let's say, LA to New York, landed, I need to move 3 hours. 1, 2, 3, and everything else remain the same spot. So you went from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Very convenient. The strap is so-called black polymer. It's basically a fancy rubber, if you will. It's tropical style. Patek basically says it's ultra resistant to wear, and also very high anti-corrosion as well as saltwater UV protection. It's actually slightly on the firmer side, compared to some of the other aftermarket rubber strap. It's a little bit on the firmer side. Take a look at the case back here. Very impressive gold roller, and you have the PP seal here, basically signifying their standard. I think it's -3 plus 2 seconds a day. I forgot the exact specification. Strap, very nice Patek logo here, and here you have these lines. You can cut it. That's the thing about this type of strap is you have to fit your wrist size. You have to adjust. If you cut it too short, for the next person who buy this on the secondhand market, if their wrist is too big, you're gonna have to buy a new strap. And a very, very nice double fold over clasp, very secure, push to open, feels very solid. Okay, let me try to put that on my wrist to see how it looks. Okay, my wrist is a little bit small, 6.5 inches, 16.5 centimeters, but with a 40.8 millimeter case, and also because it's only 10.2 millimeter thick, it looks very compact. Oh, plus this watch is only 97 grams. It's very light because of the rubber strap as well. So the watch is very light. You don't feel too much weight at all. Because of the design of the strap, you can see it kind of flares out a little bit on the side. If you have a bigger wrist, it will fit perfectly. But even if my small wrist, if you cut it further, let's see, if we tighten the wrist a little bit further, tighten the strap, I'm sorry, it looks pretty good. It will hug my small wrist pretty well. Again, a side view, pretty good. Very clean. I mean, that's kind of the message. Bring it to you right away. It just looks clean. Again, besides the sub-dial date, I mean, if they can replace that with a window, I hate to say this, like watches like cars, like a fashion, everyone just copy each other. I don't know who started with this, sub-dial date thing first. Everybody else, basically, if it's travel watch, Vacheron does it, JLC does it, AP when they have the dual time, they do it. I'd rather just have a simple date at the 6 o'clock, and that will make it almost perfect. So price-wise, the official price in the United States is $40,810 right now at the end of August, 40810. There is a rose gold version, model number 5164R, R for rose gold. Retail price is $60,910. Basically $20,000 more than this stainless steel version, plus sales tax depending on what state you're in. Again, the price on the secondary market, back in April, pretty much when everything is at all-time high, whether it's watch, real estate, sports car, basically, in the U.S., at least in the United States, everything started to, I would call it a mini crash, little adjustment, But back in April, this one was around 130,000 for a really good secondhand condition one. But now, at the end of August, the price have come down to around, I would say 84 to 85 for a piece like this. Basically, it's less than a year old, very new condition. And also the price I quoted, obviously, is from dealer. They have full box and paper and everything, right? If you buy it with a private party, obviously the price is, significantly lower. And also the price adjusts very quickly based on market conditions. But I think as of right now, I would say the price sort of hit the pre-COVID level. It's a little bit more stabilized, but who knows? Depending on the economy in the U.S. and globally, right? If the economy stays at where we are right now, it might be pretty good. But if the economy continues to tank, then this price of this kind of watch, fancy sports cars and real estate, everything else stock is going to continue to drop. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Again, this is the Patek Philippe Aquanaut travel time, model number 5164A. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.